Okay. Here, let me run to the restroom really
Sure.
quick before we start.
So potty.
I've been running all day.
I'm still working on this direction resignation.
I'm good on my, so whenever you're ready. You can do that.
I'll start it even though he's in the bathroom. Because, oh, well, his new.
Everything else, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm calling to order the regular meeting for Thursday, October 12th, 2023 for Fraser Park Public Utility District. We're starting at 6:01 p.m. Agenda item number 1, call to order. We'll pledge to the flag first. Wants to stand? Stand. Okay, ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Becky.
Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia.
Here.
Director Nyman.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Director Gibson is currently absent. Director Schoenberg is present. So we have a quorum. Item number 2, discussion vote adjust agenda if necessary. One thing is I'm hoping that, I know we've been putting it off and putting it off, but that I will entertain a motion to put off the record retention policy again, because I'm way not up to it. And I know a lot of that hinges on me, and we also don't have our 5th director.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table till the next regular meeting. On number 18, discussion vote on district's records retention policy,
And 19.
and 19.
And if the director,
Yeah.
okay, Director Gibson is present now. The time is 6:03. Was there some other agenda item that needed to be changed?
Anything? Not that
When you
I'm.
were talking?
So,
No.
so there's a
Okay,
motion on.
so there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? All those in favor, Director Garcia, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
No.
Director Gibson.
Here,
Becky, there's a motion on the floor.
To table the records retention policy.
oh gosh, I'm
Number
sorry,
18.
okay, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Yeah, she said aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye, so that's 4 for, 1 against, no abstentions. Okay, nothing else that needs to be adjusted on the agenda? Okay, public comments, items not listed on the agenda, limited to 5 minutes, thank you. Any public comments? Okay, seeing none, report of officers, President. Director Gibson,
Nothing to report.
Vice
No report.
President. Okay, believe I have a report. Second,
Are you doing his thing again? It's been doing it. It's gonna be fun. Okay, we're back.
okay, Secretary,
No report.
Treasurer,
Yes, we made a transfer from the, the SLA account of $11,810 for, cover Stanley Hoffman. And, for that check, and that we will be going over tonight. And then it'll be replaced. It's going on claim, I think it's on a current claim 33, is it?
30.
and why did that
34.
come out of the SLA and not the general fund? There was nothing left in the general fund?
Oh, well, maybe I made a mistake. I took it out of the SLA.
Yeah, that shouldn't really be our like borrowing fund, but that's just me.
Okay.
Um,
And then, I also, took, 1,006 and 40 cents from our revenue operating fund. Put it in the meter well to cover a portion of D Jasper's invoice 23-00714 for, what is it, analytical?
Pace analytical.
Analytical. It's been several months and we have not received any payments, and they're bugging D for payment.
And to refresh your memory, Pace Analytical is BC Labs, what used to be BC.
so part of BC Labs is being paid for as a claim because it's for the.
Because they did the
well.
sampling, yeah.
The sampling of the well, yes. And they have not, until we're able to close out the well 5 thing, we will not be,
Well, 7.
well 7, until we give them their final, I guess. We won't, they're not paying any of our claims.
And we're tracking all that, so.
Yeah,
Anything else?
and that's it.
There was a item that we were concerned about. Did that ever get resolved with Deborah? Where it was a holiday, so it wasn't able to be resolved? Deborah, was that ever resolved, the credit card? Reconciling it?
We've got that all in the financials, yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
I don't know what she's talking about,
Are
holiday.
you're talking about the
Johnny's
credit
credit card.
statement?
was you able-
Oh, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that in finance.
Okay, but I think what was affected during the holidays, getting the statement visible on under my password. That was the
Well, like I
problem.
said, we'll talk about that during financials.
Okay,
It's in the financials.
Okay, the JPIA representative.
I have no report.
Okay, board member initiatives, item 5, agenda item 5, is there anything?
No.
Okay, agenda item 6, managers report.
Okay, we have a new employee that's supposed to start on Monday. Nice young guy. He had to give his last 3 days notice for National Cement. Want to come and work here, so hopefully he works out well. We also have a claim from July this guy had just put in a new asphalt driveway, and he had a concrete driveway. We had a leak on a 4-inch steel line, so it all had to be cut out, and the remainder of his asphalt driveway got water under it. It's buckled in several places. So today, when he brought me the quote for $10,500, I filled out the incident report, sent it to JPIA for a claim. They said they'd start the claim, and then Monday I have to get with him and give him an actual claim form for him to fill out. So then they could pay for the guy's driveway to be put back. That's my report.
What's the will serve letter?
Oh, well, some guy called me, said he was building a house on Roosevelt and got a lot invested, and he had to have a will server, he was gonna be sunk. He didn't give me an address, so today I told him I'd put him on the agenda today. I went up and the only place I see where they could be doing anything is an old house that he's been trying to build the whole time I've worked here. And if he's the guy, not only do we have the issue of not issuing will serves typically until we get a new well, but the nearest line is only a 4-inch according to our maps. So that would really be a problem. So he was supposed to be here though, and he is not here, so we will move on and address it if he comes around.
You didn't get an address, you say?
No, he just told me he was building a house and I told him what he had to do. He had to fill out the will serve. He told me he was on Roosevelt. There's a house, like I said, it's about 3 stories high. Been working on it forever. He has no power. No power, no water. But he's been building this house and he comes up and stays in his van when he works on it. That's the only place I see.
Right by that turn.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Got a couple vehicles parked there. Look like they're storage units or.
Yeah. So I told him he had to, fill out the will serve and come in for the meeting and he did not, so.
Why are people doing things backwards?
I have no idea, and he's been doing it, like I said, he's been building it much longer than 14 years, if it's that house. I mean, maybe he plans on putting it in somewhere else, but I didn't see any open lots that look like they were gonna build on. So.
Okay,
Okay, item 6, so that's everything for your manager's report?
Yep.
Item 6B, administrative assistance report.
I think everything has an agenda item other than I'm going to be gone all next week on vacation.
Yep.
Point of information. Did you say that claim was $10,500?
Yeah, well, I don't know what he's gonna actually ask in the claim. His cheapest of the 3 quotes was 10,500.
Oh, and it goes up from there.
Yeah, it goes up from there, yeah. And that's if they agree to pay to replace as much as he wants to replace. He's a real nice guy. But the concrete driveway that we had to cut was pretty worn and dilapidated anyway, so that's gonna be up to insurance if they wanna pay to redo the driveway or just.
I'm sure they're gonna send an adjuster, right? And he'll
They
assess,
typically do, yeah.
he'll assess what he sees and
Yeah.
what.
So it'll be on them to make that choice, but. Oh, one more thing, since you brought that up. I can't even see this word, but. Grab the letter. Got a letter regarding a claim that was paid already from back in July with Michael Hightower. And these people say they're a subrogation group insurance. And they wanted more information about that same claim. So I didn't even respond to them. I sent it to JPIA and Paula said that she has no idea why they would be sending me this when they've already paid out the claim, but she's gonna handle it.
Beautiful way to pass it off. There are insurance companies, right?
yeah, they should do the work.
I have a quick question. I don't know if I can answer it now, but for the administrative assistance report, is the overlap where Tiffany's gonna, where Tanya's gonna be gone? Is that this week or is that the following?
That's this coming week. We have done all the training that we could
She
do.
did train somebody.
We trained somebody and she's supposed to definitely come in on the 18th and 19th to cover those 2 days. And then I'm hoping she can fill in as needed. So maybe I could spend a couple days. Our front desk is gonna be gone 3 weeks total. So when I come back, I'll probably be busy, have stuff to catch up on. So if she can cover it intermittently, at least give me a chance to go to the back and do some of my work.
And I would actually be good with and think we should just keep her the whole time that she's able to work, filling in for Tanya. So
Tanya's gone for 3 weeks. is that what you
she's
said?
having, she has a personal thing that she's doing.
Oh, okay.
And Joyce seems, like to catch on real good. And I would like to just keep her going. And then if we need people in the future,
Oh, and she's Angel's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
so if we need people in the future, we just could call her in and she'll have 3 weeks worth of experience to know how to run stuff. So,
Absolutely. We need those kind of overlapping
yeah.
responsibility people.
Oh,
Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, item number 7, standing committee reports, accounts payable committee.
We met, we went over invoices, we asked Deborah to cut the checks and we'll review everything in the financials.
Okay, state update meeting committee.
We haven't had the meeting yet. The meeting's, next
Next
Thursday, next week.
Okay, item number 8, ad hoc committee reports, project committee.
You guys met? You done anything?
I don't think I've done anything. Have I done anything?
I don't, we're supposed to meet with, Dee, but that hasn't happened yet. We're supposed to meet in regard to the, well 9 property, but that has not happened yet.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
And I don't think anything happened between the last meeting and this meeting.
No, not that I.
Okay, financial committee.
We've met, we've gone through probably about half of the first 2 quarters of last year. And we've got 2 more dates set. So hopefully we can get through it and get it off to the auditors.
So when do we plan on getting that done? Because this is,
We told them the end of October.
We told them, but we're hoping we got the 16th and
Yeah, but Deborah can't be here the end of October, so
no,
we're
so
trying to finish it.
we're hoping to get it off the somewhere between the 24th and the 27th.
because my thing on this is I think that we should do whatever we can do. And then if they have to make adjustments,
It doesn't work that way.
well,
Like, you can't make adjustments later.
well, and then maybe we've done it.
What's it, how much is that gonna help us? They're not even ready to look at it yet. The auditor hasn't even gotten back to us yet. Or did the auditor get back to us,
Yeah.
Deborah?
Yeah, they're just
They're-
waiting for us.
They're okay, but he was
They're
saying the
okay.
beginning of November.
If we
But
get
he
it to,
said-
if we
Right now, he was saying. I thought I'm
He
sorry,
sent us an email
I didn't look.
and they're ready. He's got the staff. He got the staff okay to look at it as soon as we get it to him. It'll.
by
he's
the
ready
end
to
of
go.
October,
Yeah,
he's got the staff okay if we get it to them by the end of October.
mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna, I know you're aware, pushing because
Yeah.
we can't keep. Because in the end, when it comes to the pipeline thing, we need to get this done. So
Yes.
that we can get funding, so we can get moving. And it just seems like we keep getting one, before it was other issues and now it's a new issue, so just bringing that up. Thank you.
You are aware that even when we get it to them, they're not saying they can be done with it until January.
Well, yeah, but as
Is
soon,
that correct? I think it
Well,
was
he
January.
said that he could probably have some sort of a rough thing that we could submit, but not a final.
But if we get it to them after October, he'll need it till after January, right?
It's very difficult to hear you.
No, it's our thing then, and I have no idea why.
Can you say that again, Mr. Gibson?
Our audio's getting weird.
Our audio sounds like a bad connection.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
We can hear you, it's just really static,
Garbled.
garbled and staticky. It just
Okay,
started.
I'm very
like-
sorry.
No, it's not you, it's happening to Deborah
That's
too,
just-
so it's us, it's on our end.
Okay.
If you want to try to repeat your question again, because I think we just couldn't understand it.
Well, my comment or question was, if we get it to them after October, won't they need it or get done with it until after January? So the later we get it to them, the later they keep it, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
When's it supposed to be turned in? Is it supposed to be turned in June? This past June? Oh.
And we still gotta get the other one in.
So this is the.
You're gonna do it simultaneously.
They're gonna do the two.
This is 22-23 that we're working on right now. This is this year's.
Okay, so that's
So
good.
we're turning it in two, so wouldn't that be 21, 22, and 22, 23?
23.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
In, well, it's supposed to start being calculated in June, July,
Yeah.
but we usually aren't done with it till now.
Yeah,
But
that's what I thought.
but we're still behind on the previous. one. So they're doing both of them at the same time. Okay, any other questions on that? That's the financial committee. Generator pad construction committee.
Okay, we received the plans and I reviewed them with Johnny. I realized that they were all engineered structures with perimeter footings, heavy number 5 rebar, and I believe a little bit more than what we were planning on doing. I thought they were gonna be flat 6-inch pads, we just grade out, throw out some forms, and that's not the case. So what I would like to do is recommend that we use our guys. Johnny and I can go out to the sites, lay out the locations, use our guys to excavate them, because we have the tractors and the machinery here, but we have concrete contractor bid on the labor. The forming and pouring and finishing them, so that we can get them in a brief week to 2 week time frame, as opposed to drawing them out one piece at a time, trying to teach our guys how to be cement guys, because they're not.
Pads are gonna be 12 inches thick.
Yes.
That's a lot of concrete to try to hold back without the experience, skill set, of a contractor.
Yeah, I didn't think we weren't gonna get a contractor.
That's what I thought, because of what I was planning on doing, but that's not what the way the plans came out. We finally got the plans. They're all 2 feet thick from a thick, 1 foot thickness of the slab, a foot down below that for perimeter foundation footing. And these are things are pretty, they're little structures. They're little structures with reinforcing.
Yeah,
And,
because of the heaviness of the generators.
Yes, and the vibration and what will happen to them if they are in a shaker, keep them, and then we have to bolt them down to the concrete, which is another construction type activity. I mean, I know about it, but I don't think our guys have the rotor hammers and the wedges and the anchors to hold it.
And what's the size of the load banks? Is that included in all this?
Well, no, the load banks can be much smaller than the generator mounted on top of the generator.
Mounted on top of the generator?
So they've designed pads that have walking basically 3-foot walkways on either side of it, and the size of that Johnny thought was excessive, because we aren't gonna be monitoring them consistently. They're gonna be used on an emergency basis, and we may not need that size. So we're gonna go out and custom fit each one, and up to that size they have, or shrink it down to save our material.
I spoke with Curtis about knocking it down to where, because some of the 4 of the pads were gonna be 10 by 12, and the generators are basically 4 by 8s. So I feel 10 by or 4 by 8, so it'd be 10 by 6 instead of 10 by 12. I mean, it's gonna cut it back, because it's a lot of money in concrete. And Curtis said, yeah, no problem, that's fine. He just wanted to make it a nice pad in front of it for like if you're working on it. But we get in mud all the time, so in dirt, so that's not a problem for us.
Anything else on that?
Yeah, I would like to have the support of the board and try and get the best quality product we can for a least reasonable figure.
Right, but is that something Dee's gonna go out to bid, or we're gonna?
No, we'll just get a couple, I know several concrete contractors, they're licensed, insured, have their own crews, their own people. And I would just oversee it, make sure that they did it, put it where we wanted to according to plans.
And unfortunately, one thing that we have to make sure that is included in the quote is prevailing wage. This year, Alan has made it abundantly clear that when we pay people, it's gotta be prevailing wage.
Okay, and you're going to do 3 bids?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just do the cheapest one.
I think we should. That's what we need to do,
Move forward.
move forward and get the bids.
Okay, I'll be starting on that tomorrow.
Is there any objection to that?
No, not as long as we get, they're all outside.
Yeah, because on top of that, on top of getting bids for the contractors, we also have a problem with getting the concrete to the sites, and a contractor is the one that's gonna know best how to do that and what kind of pumper they need, and context, all the stuff we don't have.
And you're gonna make sure that it's not like a conflict of interest.
Absolutely, I won't be involved in that at all,
Okay,
other than being the board representative on the site.
okay.
Have you been putting in for your time?
Yeah, we haven't had much time. I got an hour last week. I think I had 3 hours when we first went over it. I'm fine. I haven't really done anything. Our conversations aren't billable, just to say, hey, we got this. What do you think about that? Okay, bring it up to meeting, listen to the board. But now that we have the decision, I'll have some time in it and I'll keep track of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're supposed to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I just want to make sure that you're getting your.
Take
just
care.
dues.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here.
I appreciate it. That's all I have.
Okay, anything else on item 8? Yes.
Not on item 8. If this is not gonna be working where we can hear it, I don't know if you want to give me a chance to reset it or figure out a different audio.
Yes, please.
I think we should,
Recess?
can
Or
someone,
Deborah can
can
say
someone
hi.
talk again and say, can someone else talk? Joan, can you talk for a minute? Let's see if we can hear you.
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay, or is it all weird?
You, so we're
It's our
going to
equipment.
pause at this time for 5 minutes, if that's okay with the board.
Yep.
And try to reset the equipment. You're all, it's us. Everyone's coming across the arm.
Sounds good.
Okay. We're going to pause right now at 6:27 and resume, let's resume at 6:40, just to make sure we have audio.
Yeah.
Okay, do I hang up and start again at 6:40?
No,
Just stay there. Well, usually.
Okay, stay in. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
if we can resolve it faster than that, fine, but we're trying to give at least a few minutes to resolve it.
got it.
Okay, so we're
Thank you.
temporarily going to suspend the all board conversation right now, 6:28, until we have the audio fixed.
I was bored anyways. Yeah, Tiffany sees me every week.
Walking?
Uh-huh.
Oh. And when I go to lunch, sometimes you're walking.
Yeah.
Like your mom, sometimes you're walking.
Then about 4:00.
Yeah,
And the rest of the time he's pulling sagebrush from side the road.
yeah. Can somebody say hi to us?
Good
Hi.
afternoon, everyone.
Becky?
Okay, there,
Tiffany, is that working better now?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Joan.
Joan.
Okay, just turned on now. It seems like it's clear again.
Becky, say something.
Something.
Thank you.
Hey, you sound good.
Okay,
Thank you.
so far, so good. Let me turn our camera. Wonder if the, okay, I'm gonna turn the camera back on. If it starts doing it again,
We'll eliminate the camera.
then we'll eliminate the camera, so
Good job.
we'll test that.
Go ahead and say something, Becky.
Something. Can you
See,
hear
this is
me?
something-
Yes,
Yeah,
perfect.
and we'll restart earlier. That was fast.
Okay, so far, so good.
Okay. Okay, so, different than previously said, we'll start the meeting at 6:30 PM because the audio is, adjusted and working at the moment. So, we're, finishing off item number 8. Are there any other questions or comments on item number 8? Okay, item number 9, financial business. Discuss vote on accounts payable and financial information. Deborah, this is you.
Okay,
And,
we cut one check from the meter well account for $1,006.40 to D, and that was a partial payment on invoice number 2300714. We cut one check from the planning account for $11,810 to Stanley Hoffman. There were 29 checks from the revenue operating account for a total of $36,778.20. And the extraordinary disbursements, there was a payment for the employee medical benefits of $5,840.96. There were 2 invoices paid to California Parking and Highway for $6,400. And our Edison bill was $8,140.52. I did add, after our AP meeting, the check for the new, Johnny's new Visa bank card for $2,876.81. And that's it.
Okay, Deborah,
Yes,
can you tell me where when we paid the previous statement for the credit card, that's 600 and what was it, 600 and
$695.99.
yes. Where is that check? Did we put that under, we sent it under the old number?
Yes, their last
It was-
statement under the old number showed that amount due. I reconciled
Right.
that statement and paid them under that
Right.
card
The
number.
reason, so where will I find that? Because I need to take a copy of that with me to the bank. Because this is what I think happened, because that finance charge of a late charge of $37.45. I'm thinking that it should not be done because we paid that on time. We didn't pay it on, but it didn't get put under the new card because it was the other statement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
we-
I know
and it-
exactly what you're saying, and I totally agree with you, because the part of the problem was I didn't have access to the new statement until this month. So I didn't see the
Right.
statement prior.
Yeah, that was.
And
that
what
was-
they did
that was
is they
fault.
transferred all of the last statement under the old number to the new number after we had already paid it.
But then the question is, why didn't they transfer that $690 some dollars? Because then they show it as not being paid on the
They-
new statement.
I believe, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe they didn't transfer the payment until the current statement. So the $720,
Can I see the credit card? I just need the credit card.
There's two of them.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, they show it here, okay. So yeah, they put it as 9/15. So what we need is so I need to get a copy of the other one on the date, because I know we gave it to them prior to that.
yeah, you're absolutely
didn't-
right. We paid the 695 on time. And the $720 that they were saying under the new statement that was unpaid, $695.99 of that was paid. So they didn't, it's a timing issue, and the old
So they- so
statement
they-
is in the,
So we'll go ahead and pay this, this because we paid the total, we're paying the total. But then, me and Terry are gonna have to go to the bank and, get the, debt, what's her name? Brenda, I'm sorry. Brenda to reverse those charges, but I need to get a copy of the, of that check and the statement we paid, our documentation. I couldn't find it in the file. Do you have it in a specific place?
no, it should be in the file if it's not attached to the statement you have. But
I didn't find the California bank
when,
file.
when are you planning to go to the bank?
Well, I mean, I can wait till Monday. I mean, when are you coming in?
Well, the office is closed tomorrow, so I don't have
Right.
access to it. So I'm coming in on Monday.
Okay, so I'll come in and Monday you can get that. I can talk to Brenda when I give them their payment.
Okay, Monday, we will be here at 9.
Okay,
Sure, works out good.
well, I can come in and just get the copy.
Yeah, but I can't go to the bank with you until after 11.
That's fine. We'll work it out.
Okay,
Or, I mean, I can give the documentation to Terry when she comes in for the meeting on Monday.
Yeah, why don't you
Yeah,
do that?
yeah.
okay, that works.
So give her the documentation plus the
Copy of the check.
the copy of the check part too.
Yes,
So
okay,
that because I want to give a copy to Brenda to show her that, look, I brought this in right after the meeting, it was on time, and you need to research it. And because they ended up not transferring it over till later, then they charged us the late charge.
No good.
So,
I think she's got it.
okay,
I think we're good.
all right. Thank you.
okay.
Oh, at this
Are there
point,
any,
if there's no other questions, I would, like to make a motion to pay our bills.
I have two other questions.
Okay.
One is that it says in the paperwork that we were gonna pay the thing that you said we paid out of operating revenue. It says to pay it out of, did you transfer from operating revenue to?
To get meter or not
Meter,
well, but
yeah.
whatever. Yes.
Yes. 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got transferred.
That was my one
Yeah,
question.
that-
And it says in here that we did meet on 9/27, the project ad hoc. I don't remember what we were doing. But we probably should figure that out so that we can report on it, maybe, a little later on. Anyway, that's all.
You guys need to take better notes.
You made a motion.
Oh, I make the motion that we pay our bills.
I'll second it.
Okay, any issues, questions besides that? Roll call Director Garcia,
All right.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, so that's 5-0-0. A motion passes to pay the bills.
Okay, before we move on to that line item. As you know, we've been upgrading the telemetry, the SCADA. I don't know how much we're into it now, about 30,000, I think. All total, when he gets the new computer in and everything, it's probably gonna be about 50,000, 55,000. I've been emailing Al Corial, he referred me to Marcos Ramos. Marcos Ramos said, no problem. Says, yes, I reviewed and you can proceed to use the reserve funds or the replacement funds to reimburse your district for the work that needs to be done. So when we get the final from Ness, we'll transfer the money from replacement fund into where the money's been coming from.
Well, we could possibly, we've been tracking that, right?
Yeah, and we,
So my thing is that we probably could go ahead and make the transfer now of what we've already spent back to the, because, you know, our revenue has been low, so.
You should attach a copy of that email to whatever we, to the invoice somewhere, so Deborah has it.
Okay.
In case there's some issue that comes up.
so work with me Monday when we get the totals and I'll print you the copy of the email and then we'll.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, nothing-
Deborah, are we done with you? It seemed
Are you
like there
done
was
with me?
Under there.
I don't
So-
like it put like that, but
Yeah.
So you are getting so now all of the stuff is resolved as far as getting the actual printout for Johnny's new credit.
Yeah, that's all. resolved.
Yes. Yes.
That's,
That will be-
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I just wasn't positive that, like, if there was still some issue
We're trying to, we think,
besides the payment issue.
yeah, we think the bank made a
Made an error.
error somewhere.
And that's
So
why
that's-
she couldn't see the statement,
Right.
because they were still stuck.
Well, she couldn't see the statement because they put on a new account. So that new account had to be authorized by an admin. And I wasn't aware of that. So I had to go in, and give her access to that. And I added her, that account to her.
Okay, moving
Okay.
on, so there's something else for Deborah, no?
Good night, Deborah.
Good night,
Thank you.
Deborah. Thank you.
Good night. Have a good weekend.
Deborah.
everyone. Bye.
Okay, so we are on items 10 and 11, closed session. So at this point, are we ready to go into a closed session?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so oral announcement prior to closed session, government code 54957.7A, a representative of the legislative body me to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting. So the items are as follows. Item 10, closed session pursuant to government code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, government code 54956.8, property parcel 255-32028, agency negotiators Lisa Schoenberg, Roman Nyman, and D. Jasper, negotiating parties Veronica Alcaraz and Carlos Acedo, under negotiation price and terms of payments, as well as item number 11, closed session pursuant to government code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, government code 54956.8, property in question 256-07054 and 256-07055. Agency negotiators Lisa Schoenberg, Brahma Nyman, and D. Jasper, under negotiation price and terms of payment. So at this time, we are going to go into closed session. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be very long. We don't have an attorney here. I think we're just being caught up on where we're at by D. Jasper. So we will, can you you have a question that has to be answered outside of closed session or in closed session?
Yeah, or.
You're
Before we go.
recusing yourself.
Yes,
Okay, so before we go into closed session, Director Garcia is going to recuse himself from this conversation,
Discussion and voting.
discussion and voting.
Oh, pretty about that.
Thank you, Director Garcia. We will come get you as soon as we're done. And so at this time, the time right now is 6:45. We're going to go into a closed session. And I believe that Tiffany is going to check to make sure Pam's not here, but check with someone to make sure everything is good.
There'll be nobody left but Joan and Mary, but it's always worked.
Yeah, Pam's not here.
A lot of people.
Except
Pam's on vacation.
Ah,
We're officially out. We just have to wait for Dee and Becky to transfer back over.
Yeah.
Cause it gives them 60 seconds and then it'll boot them out.
There's D.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
And then Becky will be back in, what, 30 more seconds, maybe?
We're just waiting for Director Gibson's return from the closed session. Okay, Director Gibson is back, so we are in closed session. The time is 7:16. There was no action taken on any actionable items. So moving on.
Yeah, we're waiting on Director Garcia to come in,
Oh,
because he refused himself, so he's out.
were we getting,
Johnny went to get him.
I'm sorry. So we returned from closed session, but we're actually still waiting because Director Garcia was recused. He is coming back in. So we will wait a minute to go on to item 12.
Thank you for handling that, you guys.
Okay, so Director Garcia is back in the room and we are on item number 12, discussion vote update on Fraser Park Lake and the Village Conservation Planning Projects. 12A, discussion vote review of the project timeline and extension.
No changes in that.
Okay, no changes on 12A item, and also just for everyone's notes, we do not presently have self-help enterprises representing tonight, so there will be no questions directly to them. Okay, 12B, discussion vote update on the standby fee assessment and funding.
We won't know.
No update from Carlos yet.
Okay, so we don't currently have an update on that yet. Item 12C, discussion vote on the project technical memo.
Working on it, and all the information that I'm, putting together for this early or expedite drinking water grant that will also dovetail right into that report too. So working on two fronts there.
Okay, any questions? Moving on, discussion vote on the acquisition, 12D, discussion vote on the acquisition development of well number 8 property. We did have some discussion on that in closed session, but is there anything in open session that needs to be discussed?
Nothing here.
No, okay. Okay, so same with 12E, discussion vote on the acquisition development of well 9 property. We're still waiting to meet with those property owners,
So we're hoping to have that by next week.
hopefully next week.
Hey, Lisa.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry, on 12D, did you get a response from the property owners to your offer letter?
I believe that we cannot discuss that in open session.
Okay, thank you.
We got a response. We got a response. I don't believe we can discuss the response.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I needed.
Okay, 12F. Discussion vote on district sphere of influence map for the annexation. That was submitted already and is currently tabled until we move completely through the MSR. Item 12G, discussion vote on project municipal services review, MSR. Where are we at, quote, draft MSR data collection, scope of work, and LAFCO? Where are we at on that? We had reviewed that. Oh, that's what we did. We reviewed. It all comes back to us. That was the project. MSR. We were here for hours trying to preview the MSR. It's a whole blur.
Like, what did I do? Oh,
So do we have any additional information on that other than us going over it? Dee took extensive notes. I believe it went back to Bravish for revision.
where do we stand, D, on that?
He's working on the revisions. I sent a pretty comprehensive list of all the things that we had discussed, which gave him a fair amount of work to do. And so he's working on it, and I had a conversation with him after I sent all the comments, and he said he appreciated them and he will incorporate them into the MSR, and he is working on that.
Okay, great.
So do we have any idea of time?
I'll check with him tomorrow and see what his latest timing is, Ron.
And then
Okay.
we have one more meeting on that, but it needs to go to Lake of the Woods once he's done additional revisions, correct? At that point, Lake of the Woods can take a look and see if they have any revisions.
Yes. Yes.
And then we will meet additionally another time before the board votes on it going forward, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just
Question.
double checking, yes.
Why can we not have Look at the Woods do their revisions as we're doing our revision?
Because we did a lot of changes,
Mhm.
and they may have more questions too about what we added. So it's probably better for them to have the whole thing corrected, so that they're not trying to correct things that we've already corrected or comment on.
Yeah,
It should be ready for them now, as soon as it comes back from Ravish. We may still find a few items, and they may still find a few items, but we went over, there were quite a few just things that were kind of silly things that they would have said, hey, this needs to be changed, but we already said that, like director's name, who was present, like just a lot of I don't want to say silly, but a lot of sort of
Outdated
Tiny.
information.
outdated information on there. Yes. Okay, so any more questions or comments on that? Okay, 12J, discussion vote on claims and payouts. We do not have self-help here this evening, so
Skipped over Lake of the Woods project,
I'm sorry, I did.
and
12,
yeah,
One was tabled.
H is
I'm
tabled.
sorry.
Aye.
I'm in pain. 12H, discussion vote on the memorandum of understanding that is tabled currently because we need that comes towards the end or maybe even in the construction phase of the project. 12I is Lake of the Woods. Lake of the Woods is here. Joan and Mary, do you have anything to discuss with us on 12I?
Just an update, the current meters are line replacement, line replacement is going exceptionally well, way on schedule. The second grant, the $5 million grant, we were notified today that we got our final approval from Army Corps of Engineers that we needed on their permits. So that's working really good. Generator grant is still in with Lawrence for review. That's everything.
Good job.
Great, thank you for the update, Joan. Okay, and 12, any questions for Joan?
No.
Okay, and finally, 12J, we're not going to be discussing claims and payouts until next week at the state update meeting, which will be the standing committee for that.
And I did send all of that claim information to Carlos today before I'm gone, so he'll have all that and he'll email it out next week.
Okay, so that's ready to go. Okay, so I do have one question on will there be issues if you have to recuse yourself from, I guess not, you won't because it's not an actual vote that's being taken.
What are we talking about? Mike?
The state update meeting, talking about the properties and stuff. Would you have to recuse yourself from that?
Yeah, I won't make any votes or anything.
I mean, we don't.
you don't
You don't
vote.
vote.
You don't vote anyway.
Okay, well, then
discussion.
let's- Yeah, no, we're not, we'll just vote.
Okay, item 13, anything else on item 12 before we move on? Item 13, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement projects and emergency well supply project. 13A, discussion vote update on well number 7. D, where are we at with capping 7 and completing that job?
In discussions with Curtis, we've submitted everything that Lawrence requested. We are hoping that he will sign change order number 2 soon. And then we can get Unified Field Services to complete the well abandonment and do the fence restoration work. So the ball is in Lawrence's court, and I think we'll need to maybe send him another email and ask him just where he is on changing, approving change order number 2.
Yeah, because we'll definitely be bringing it up in state update meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else on 13A?
Oh,
13B, discussion vote update on meter replacement.
well, Neptune is estimating delivery date of this month for the meters. The brass corp stops and angle meters are the holdup, and they won't be available till we think sometime in January. So rough will not start work until those materials come in. And so we're anticipating Bruff ordering the meter boxes soon. So that's
Okay,
what it is.
Can they be put in the snow and bad weather?
Well, it depends on how bad it is, yeah. But you know, there may be days they can't work.
I can put them in all kinds of weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it. Go.
When you're saying not till January, February, I'm like, okay, that's our bad months up here.
A little tough.
Yep, well, we can't
Okay.
control when those materials will be received. And so
Right.
as soon as they are received, we'll have the contractor start and do what he can do.
what is our construction done date on that?
I think
You
so.
know, Dee?
I don't remember, but I think it's 150 days to get that done. Once
But the completion date was, I think, changed to December 2024.
yeah, we had to change that.
Well, no, it didn't get changed yet because we had to do that revised.
One thing I do know is once Bruff gets all the materials, from what I've heard from another customer that had it done, they want to get it done as quickly as they can because they want to get paid and they want to get the meters out of their yard.
Yeah.
So once they get the materials, I'm pretty sure they're gonna knock it out pretty quick.
I was saying, I think it was it? I mean, Lawrence said we could revise that date if there was an issue. I think it was March right now of 2023, but maybe it was May. It
No,
was like a-
those dates did change.
24, March of 24?
Some stuff changed. but
Some of those dates,
one did.
24. Yes, I'm sorry.
yeah. They just.
That date
they
did
just-
not
we
change.
did-
That was the one I
No,
was questioning.
no, they did, the one construction date was like September. Completion was September, but he said that was just kind of not a hard, fast.
That was inspection was September.
Yeah.
Completion was saying like March or something, but I think, anyway. I mean, if it's really bad weather, I guess, we'll just have to ask them to push it forward.
We can only hope for really bad weather, to be honest with you. We can only hope that we get a lot of snow. I want the meters in the ground, but we need the water, so,
Right, exactly.
I've been hoping for.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Anything else before I move on? 13C. Discussion vote on claims and payouts. Again, we don't have self-help. Is there anything that? anyone
I
else-
sent all the claim information to Oscar as well, and then he said he'll email that to everybody next week.
Okay, so that'll all get discussed again at the state update meeting with our standing committee. Item D,
Nothing going on.
discussion vote update on bridge loan. We don't need to take out anything at the moment, so that's nothing. Moving on to item 14, discussion vote on pipeline replacement projects. A, discussion vote update on potholing and mapping that is completed. We are still working on what'll be 14B, the engineering and design, correct,
I have
Steve?
an update on that.
Okay,
Last week, Dean Curtis had me go down there. I took Corey too for an extra pair of eyes. We went over every one of the plans and we discussed a lot of it. And, I believe that we're pretty far along in what we're gonna wanna do there. And I'm gonna I'm gonna pull a Brahma and keep on, reminding everybody that when this project starts, there is gonna be a lot of unknowns. Not because of anything we've done, but like they were pointing out, we can't even put the new system, we can't disconnect the old system until we get the new system in, the new piping and everything. So there's gonna be a lot of unknowns when we start to do the switchover, changeover, which means change orders. And luckily, we have enough cushion in this project to where it's gonna be able to absorb that, because especially like Elm is a nightmare of a road. There's so many utilities, there's so many pipes in that ground. They're trying to get our pipes in. We're gonna try to go deeper than everybody else to minimize the effects the other lines have on us, but it's really gonna be tough. We're gonna do it, but it's gonna be tough. So when the project starts, just know it's not anybody's fault when it comes to actually installing that stuff.
Well, I'll pull what little hair I have
Don't
left.
do that, you'll have none. Okay. So there we go. Do you have an update on that?
The other part of that is, Curtis has been working on the hydraulics, to, get the connections that will, really improve the system hydraulics and maybe, probably maybe reduce the number of pressure relief valves that we have to have. But he's taken a really solid look at, which tank serves which, and, how we can improve that, those connections. And so we'll be getting with you, Johnny, as soon as he's done with that brief analysis there.
Yeah, and to add to that, they're also gonna revise and make a better version, at least of the portion of the pressure zone map, because we've proven that is very wrong. So when we're done with that section of town, we're gonna have an actual pressure zone map of where everything's coming from and how it's affecting. So hopefully we get the whole map done. I don't know if that's possible, but.
Oh, we certainly will be focusing on Summit, that area, but the nice thing about this is when we're done, we will know exactly who is connected to what and where all the valves are and where the connections to each one of the tanks and pumping plants are. And we'll have a really great set of as-built that Johnny, you can use, for any repairs or anything that has to happen in the future after this thing's done. So, that's a good thing about it. The tough thing is there's sure a lot of pipelines in the ground that we're not going to use and that we have to avoid.
So when you guys are just spitballing about how much time this will take, what are you thinking? Or is it just too many variables?
There are a lot of variables, but, I think this can be done in about 180 days. If we get the right weather, we should move through it pretty quickly. The only impediment is these roads are super narrow. And so it's going to take some time working in those roads to try to get the traffic around. And, we discussed that a little bit with Johnny and how we can set up and stage the replacement so that, we cause the least amount of disruption that we can putting this together.
Thank you.
There'll be
Well, you know, ultimately, it's to better the town that everybody's been complaining about, so it will work out
Of
good.
course. No,
And the good thing is, some of the roads we're doing could be like north end, and some it could be blocked off without any major inconvenience. And Elm has plenty of exit routes on any of the streets to go down to Walnut, so.
And we're talking about the people that live on Elm, that face Elm.
Yeah,
Like,
Those would be the tough ones.
this,
yeah.
like.
Well, I don't want to hear anything from Becky.
But you,
Like Becky.
you know, we'll work with them, and you know, ultimately, when they're done, the road's gonna be much better
Yeah,
temporarily. so-
definitely.
Till the next storm after, but yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited.
Me too.
And I know I keep asking this, but will we be pulling some of that old pipe out of the ground on Elm?
Not really. We're gonna be doing some cutting, but like I said, we have to have the new line all the way in entirely. Then to try to remove anything, we're gonna definitely make sure that it's all shut off, which is gonna be some change orders. When we put in the new lines and we think we have something cut off, if it's not, we have to find a way to do that. But so in essence, the new stuff's gonna be entirely buried when we put it online, and then the old stuff is gonna be there. And like I said before, in particular, the issue with pulling anything out is there's too many other utilities, gas lines and everything else that are
On top of
crisscrossing. It would be like an entire another project to remove the old piping. But we are gonna make sure that it's all dead. So
It's all
it can't,
disconnected.
so it can't leak anymore. We'll even, you know, do some tests on that when we think we got it, but so it would be another project to remove that line out of there.
The as-bills would be really good, hopefully. Every time we do them on that street, they never quite happen,
So they're
so
gonna be good.
I have faith that this time
Me too.
they'll be readable.
The as-bills that we prepare will recognize and plot any of the utilities, you know, any of our existing pipelines that impact or are impacted by the new pipeline, so that we'll have at least where we put the new pipe in, we'll have a good idea of what's crossing us.
The old pipe will be completely disconnected though, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna certainly, that's the main goal.
I mean, because it doesn't do us any good if you have if it's still running some water in there.
I already answered that. I said, yeah, we'll have to do some testing to make sure it's shut off because we don't know how a lot of that stuff is run. So just because
That's
we
the
think it's
issue.
running from the yard up to the tank and up to Wolf, it may be fed by a jumper line off of something else that we don't know. So that's gonna be the growing pains to figure out, okay, well, why is this leaking? Now we gotta figure out how to do it. We may even dig down and expose parts of it, the field, as we think we got it disconnected and drill it and make sure that it's disconnected.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll have to figure out why not. So it's gonna be a interesting project.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, 14C, discussion vote on the engineering contract with D. Jasper and Associates. Do we have that?
Not yet. I'll put one together here in the next couple days.
We just need that at the point where we turn it, you know, at the point where we have the, well, I guess we probably should upload that we probably need that before we upload the financials to move forward with the, because I think that's probably one of the more important things to try and move forward with the project, but it's not. But we're not uploading any of that stuff yet, I don't think. Okay, 14D, discussion vote on the project plans and specs.
He just,
Basically, we just talked about that,
Pretty much.
more or less on engineering and design, right?
Right.
right,
Yes.
Okay, 14E, discussion of the project application, self-help's not here. So far, we've done what we can and start uploading things as we get them, done. Correct?
Correct.
Any other questions on 14? Item 15, so I think, okay, item 15, discussion vote update on Cal OES Community Power Resiliency Allocation of Special Districts Grants. 15A, discussion vote update on purchase of the generators. That's done right now except for the load banks.
Which you're doing around January.
Okay, so do around January. 15B, discussion vote on engineering and design. We had a bit of a discussion on that with the ad hoc. Director Garcia, so
Should we make a motion on that or?
I think probably.
I'll make a
yes.
motion that, we, approve the designs with the amendments that Curtis is doing, and that we authorize, Johnny Allison and Director Garcia to get 3 quotes,
Prevailing wage. quotes.
prevailing wage quotes for, cement work forms, rebar, all that generator patch for the generator
For
pads,
each of the generators.
for each of the generator pads.
Okay, do we hear a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion before we take a vote? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg, I'm an aye as well. Motion carried 5-0-0. Okay, item 16, nothing else on that, correct? Item 16, discussion about update on the water tanks repair and or replacement.
Before I let Tiffany give her stuff, for some reason, the state did not send me the 2021 sanitary survey where they come out. And the sanitary survey, they've ordered me to fix the leaks on parcel B, which obviously we can't do that. When he did the last sanitary survey this year, he said, well, we're gonna have to get that fixed. And I said, well, how do you propose we do that? He goes, well, we can't make you do something you have no money for. So, but that being said, they're claiming that by its leaking, it could let contaminants in. So I think we need to proceed in any way we have to try to get funding that Tiffany's working on now, or trying to research that. And if that don't work, we need to, try to get funding from someplace else to try to work on replacing that tank.
That tank again is part of the first USDA project. It's way beyond our replacement funds, but we would be probably pulling the rest of our replacement funds to try to do something with it, and we would need a permission on that.
I'd like to ask a question real quick before Tiffany goes. Hey, have you ever heard of somebody putting some type of rubber bladder inside them steel bolted tanks?
Yeah, we have, and there's a way to do that, or to do it with some some flexible coatings as well. Have to have the tank down, and you can. I think the tank bottom is leaking on this one, right?
Yeah, everything's leaking.
Yeah,
On side, the only part not leaking is the roof.
that tank is only 20 years old. Is that correct?
2004. 2004.
19 years old.
Yeah.
They didn't do the inspection at the 11-month inspection because we had a management company here. And by the time they realized it was a mistake or a problem, it was already far past the warranty from the tank company.
Wow. Well, the other thing, just FYI, or at least maybe for my information, Johnny, the 2 oldest tanks are Harrison and Elm Trail, right?
That's correct. Elm is 1966, and I believe the Harrison is as well.
Yeah, okay.
So
That's,
they're 57 years like me.
well, that's the number I have too, so just wanted to make sure, but I was kind of shocked that 20-year-old tank is having so many problems.
It's been leaking from the beginning. We didn't know what we didn't know, and I think we should try to approach the USDA because of that, because they really should have also been helping us on that, to know that we needed to dive the tanks. I don't think anyone told the boards that we could press the management that was an outside management company. So, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that maybe they'd be willing to help us, because that's been a problem since before Johnny was general manager, and we just haven't been able to fix it.
Well, and the key wasn't that you didn't know to dive it. The key was that they didn't know, and I'm sure it's spec'd out, that it has to be drained and inspected at 11 months, which is way better than even diving, and they didn't even do that. So they should have found signs, like when we dove ours after they were built at 11 months, they found a bunch of coating issues that they corrected and fixed at that time before it actually was deep-rooted rust. So there was a bunch of things that went wrong with that tank.
That's a big tank too.
But yeah, I think depending on, because we're asked, you're gonna talk about asking the state for money, correct? But I think we may also, if the state's not willing to do that, we may need to approach the USDA, because this has been an ongoing issue, and it's and the replacement money is nowhere close to being able to replace a tank.
Do you want my updates?
Yep.
Okay, I have good and bad news, which is actually the exact same news. So Cal OES, their program funding for the hazard mitigation was delayed. And the reason it's both good and bad news is, one, the closing date for accepting notice of intent to apply was already past due, but because they've delayed the funding, they're still accepting applications. So that's why it's both good and bad news. They have a webinar on the grant information this Wednesday. I won't be here to attend the webinar, but I signed up for it because a lot of times if you sign up, they'll send you the webinar after the fact. So I did that so they'd send it to me, and then I can give you the information too, Johnny, if you wanted to sign up and attend as well.
Yeah.
To get some information on that. So.
Can you email it to me?
Can we also give that to Oscar and Carlos and see if they would, either one of them would be able to?
Yeah, I don't know if they work necessarily or do
with
technical.
CalOES?
Yeah, technical assistance for Cal OES or not.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a little different agency than like DWR or DFA. Or...
But they may be able to, so it'd be good to pass on that info to them too, just in case.
Do we have records about how long this has been leaking and when? And I mean, because you can go to the USDA and say, well, it's been leaking since day one. But if we can't prove that it's been leaking since day one.
I mean, there's no way to really prove that. I mean, but like Lisa said, it's been leaking since early on. So I'm guessing around 2005, 2006, because when I came out, but I don't think anybody really pushed anything until Greg. And when I came on in 2009, Greg was actively trying to see if there was some legal remedy, and he found out that there was
It
not,
was too late.
because you have to meet those requirements for the tank company to pay. You know, it's like you buy a car, you can't say, well, wait a minute, I didn't know, when it's already 5 years later. So
And just FYI, the management company we had was sued by multiple entities for disregard of things.
malfeasance.
Mismanagement.
Yes.
Was
By,
us,
by
by us?
we did not sue them, but they were sued by some very big companies such as Tahone, as far as I know. So, that they also worked for. So it was a problem, but the problem is that that's all way in the past. We didn't have the money to approach that. Or, yeah, it's just so, it's just something that we would probably go with hat in hands to USDA and say, look, this, we tried to alleviate this in other ways, and it's just we haven't been successful, and now we're having an issue where the state, has issues with the quality of the water potentially, and we have no money to repair it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it just, we'll try. I think that Cal OES is probably the first way to go, and then the USDA might be, willing to help, since they helped us with the tank in the first place. So,
You always try.
and it's literally been, they made mistake, the company that installed it had issues, and then we didn't, we're not fault to find those issues.
Okay.
Okay, next,
Thank you for your hard work, Tiffany.
Okay, so, that's, anything else with 16? And right now, Elm is just on hold for a moment.
Judy.
Okay,
Dee, thank you. You have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, Dean.
Okay, well, thanks, and have a good weekend, I guess, and then we'll be talking next week, and I'll as soon as I find out, I'll check with Jeff tomorrow and verify dates and send out an email.
Sounds good.
Soon, Brahma.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Do we want to recess or are we gonna push on?
Both through.
Okay, item 17, discussion vote on resolution FP 2023-1012-01, expedited drinking water grant funding program project proposal form, authorized representative resolution. Do you want to discuss that?
It's the exact wording that came from, now I'm forgetting if Oscar or Carlos sent it to me and said to have you guys pass it, but this is, it's an authorization, you know, to designate an authorized representative to work on the expedited drinking water grant application and program. So we've done this for every grant. And this was just the verbiage he sent to me, and then I just changed it into our format for the header and the certification.
So this is the same thing. I don't know if you need us to read, if you need it read. Do any of the board members need it read? Okay, I can entertain a motion on this resolution.
I'll make a motion that we pass before the Board of Directors of the Fraser Park Public Utility District Resolution Number FP -2023-1012-01 in the matter of expedited drinking water grant funding program project proposal form attachment 4 authorized representative resolution.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, so the motion is made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions before we call the vote? Okay. We'll call the vote with directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So that's 5-0-0. That motion passes. So that resolution is now standing. So we can put that in. Item 18 was tabled. Item 19 was tabled. Item 20, discussion vote on reforming the quarterly financial standing committee. So that's just on here because Director Gibson, we're not sure. That comes up on the 17th. And do you want us to leave the quarterly financial standing committee with you on it? Or do you want us to reform that?
Right now, Becky, it's you and I.
No, is it her?
Well, do you think we can handle it, Terry? Do you think you could, do you think we'd be good?
Oh, the
great.
quarterly is you and Lisa. Sorry.
Oh, well, are we going to change it again after your resignation?
I have no idea. How would I know that if I resign?
Who
Well,
knew?
At this point, I haven't resigned yet.
Okay, well, we were looking at December and then we were going to reform it. So can we leave it as it is for now and revisit it in January?
Okay, will you be able to physically come in on the 17th? Because it can't be done remotely.
I just said leave it as, oh, is it as me? No, you and Terry take it on the 17th.
Well, she can recuse herself and let Terry fill in on the
Yeah,
17th.
that's what she's saying.
Because that's what we already had said that
So
anybody
you're
else.
saying leave everything alone, but you will not be able to make it on the 17th and Terry can cover for you.
Okay,
That's what she said.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, item 21, review and approve meeting minutes for 9/12/2023 AP Standing Committee, 9/14/2023 regular meeting, 9/26/2023 AP Standing Committee, and 9/28/2023 regular state planning and project meeting.
Make a motion that we approve the accounts payable standing committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
abstain.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so the AP Standing Committee minutes are passed 4-0, 1 abstention, 4-0-1.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, September 14th, 2023. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's made and seconded, roll call directors, Director, is there any questions, anything? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Abstain.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
I'm an aye, so that's 4-0-1 abstention.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the accounts payable standing committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, comments, discussion, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Abstain.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, that's 4-0-1 abstention. That motion passes.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, September 28th, 2023. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Any comments or discussion?
You. Aye.
Aye.
Gibson,
Abstention.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, that motion passes 4-0-1 abstention. Okay, so moving on, that was all the minutes which passed. We are now at item 22, discussion vote on future agenda items.
I'm just gonna point out, since I'll be gone, I have the meeting agendas posted for the quarterly financial, the state update, as well as the accounts payable standing committee for the 24th. So they're all done and posted.
Okay, are you gonna put the one copy in my box for the standing committee? So because we have to fill it out.
Yeah, I can do that. And the quarterly financial,
Yeah.
they're also up front in there's a rack of agendas up front. So
Okay.
I can either put it in your box, like for the quarterly, in one of your boxes, and then I'll put one in his box for the AG.
This one that gets filled out, so you can have it.
Okay, are there any other future agenda items?
Is this where we sing?
Yeah.
Is this our new singing spot?
Yes.
I guess so.
Whose birthday is it?
Oh. Get it together again for cake or anything.
Ready, begin. Happy birthday
you. You, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Thank you.
You
How
made it.
many?
61.
Get out of here. A kid.
He's a
Still here.
baby.
Yeah.
Your youngsters, 57, so.
Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, any dispute with that? Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye. We are adjourning this meeting at 8:00 PM.
Good job.
And Director Gibson, I'll be by, with your check.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Brahman. You could leave it at the office if you want. I don't want you to make a trip up here.
It's up to you.
I mean, I'd love it, but you know,
Okay.
Say no more.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Your wishes are
okay,
his
good guys
command.
finish last.
You got it.
Okay.
Samantha?
Thank
All
you.
right, guys, thank you all.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen,